So by now you should have watched our first 2 videos and you are officially a part of the Rico Babe community. So we're going to keep going and showing you guys tips and tricks on how to keep your wigs looking nice. This is a 2-year-old wig that my client has. It's actually our Rico Wave curl pattern, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to revive this wig. I'm actually going to use some things that I found around the house. So you'll see a thumbtack and some nails in this wig, but honestly that makes it more realistic for you guys, so you guys can see that you can use things laying around your house. Normally I would use a T-pin, but what I'm going to start off by doing is showing you guys how to replace an old closure. So right now I have a brand new closure that I want to put on this wig. Normally your closures will start to shed and bald and you'll see that you need to replace it. So we're going to show you how to do that at home. So what I'm going to start by doing is laying my closure on my wig head and kind of piecing it together, trying to figure out where I want to lay my actual lace. And what I'm going to initially do is I'm going to marry the edge of my lace to the first track on my wig. So this is after you've taken off your first closure, you have your wig on your wig head. You want to go ahead and marry the edges of those 2 pieces. And I'm going to try to get a better view so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So I'm just taking my needle and my thread and I am going in and I am just sewing the edge of my lace to that last track on my wig. And having pins will really help you guys. Pin your lace down so you can know exactly where you want to start sewing before you start sewing. Purchase some T-pins. I will put a link in here for you guys to see where to purchase them, probably on Amazon. But that will help you line everything up before you start sewing. So you see I'm just kind of following that track. I'm going to get a little bit of a closer view for you guys to see in a moment. So here's a little bit of a closer view. I've sewn one side. You can see that tan part, that's my lace, and I'm sewing that to my weft. So that's what you want to do all the way around. And if it helps, you can pin down the back of that lace where my fingers are. And I'm just gonna do this all the way around. So we've sewn our lace all the way around, and you can actually use these 3 lines as a guide. If your lace is in the middle, or if the middle line matches the middle of your lace, that kind of shows you that you have it lined up. So definitely use these lines as a guide. And actually I'm going to go in here and show you guys a quick trick to see if you put your lace down correctly. So if you look closely, there are no lumps and bumps in my part. So when you put your lace on, if you see any sort of bubbles or lumps, that means you have not sewn your lace down correctly. So make sure it's super flat, guys. This will cause for a seamless install. So next, what I'm going to do is go in and show you guys where we're going to tighten some tracks. So this wig is 2 years old, so we're definitely going to have some loose tracks. And I'm going to show you guys where you should actually re-sew and where it may not be necessary. So my client actually dyed this wig back black, so we won't give her too much for the little pieces that may be blonde or brown in this video. But I want to show you guys this piece or this track because you can clearly see there are some gaps. So if you can take your finger and stick it through that weft, and I'll show you guys here, you need to re-sew that because that means there is a piece of string that is unraveling, and I'm gonna pull it up here. So this is unraveling, and what's going to happen is it's going to continue to unravel. So this is a piece where we want to go in and re-sew. And I'm just going to cut this off here, and I'm going to start probably 2 stitches behind it, and I'm going to re-sew the whole thing. And I like to use my loop method, which is me going in between the thread. So I'm going to go up in between that loop and then come back out. And I'm holding the loop with my finger, and I'm going to give it a nice tug. So this creates that nice, basically sturdiness. So like you saw, I went in and through the loop, and I'm just going to do that all the way to the end, creating that extra sturdiness when I give it that tight pull. This is just basically how you guys go back and retighten these wigs that you've been wearing, and you may have brushed it a little bit too hard or combed a little bit too hard. And like I said, this wig is 2 years old, so obviously it's went through some things. You actually can see where we actually colored this hair blonde first. And then went back black. So once I reinstall this on my client, you're going to see how well this hair takes color and processing, and how we can revive it in the next video. So make sure you stay tuned for part 2. And I'm just going to keep sewing all the way to the end. So now we have a nice, sturdy, secure track. And what we're going to do is you're going to go all throughout your wig and just find any of those extra gaps and re-sew those together. And once you finish that, we have one more step. But first, what I want to do is cut this string. I like to cut my string and double knot it just for extra security. Some people will just cut it and go. For longevity purposes, go ahead and knot it so it doesn't come loose, because you're going to do a lot of combing to your hair. And cut off any excess string so that you're not pulling that. And that's how you tighten your tracks. So now we are going to tighten our actual wig. So as you wear wigs for a period of time, you'll start to see that becomes very loose, especially this wig being 2 years old. So what I'm going to do is show you guys what I like to use to tighten my wigs after they become stretched out. I'm going to flip this wig inside out so you guys can see. And I actually found my T-pins, guys. So this is what a T-pin is. In case you don't know, these are just lifesavers, honestly. And they're super sturdy. So what I like to use is this wig band or elastic band. It's called an elastic band. This is the width of it. You can see it comes in like this nice sturdy roll. It is super stretchy, but it's super sturdy. I've used a lot of different kinds of wig bands or elastic bands and different things for myself and my clients, and this is the best. I love it. So I will post a link for that as well in the bio. And you guys are probably going to ask me about the wig head and all that, so I'll post that as well. This is a 22-inch wig head. It's a very universal wig head. What I'm going to do is show you guys how I'm going to measure that elastic band and how you're actually going to measure on your head. So pretend this is your head at home, and you now want to measure your elastic band. I'm going to use a little bit of assistance. When you're at home, you won't need any assistance because your head will be sturdy. I just need some assistance to hold this wig band. Don't mind my assistant's little black thumb. She was coloring for me earlier. So we're going to take our finger and we're going to hold the band where our lace meets our actual wig cap. And I'll show you guys on the inside. But I'm going to give it a nice little pull. Not too much, because if you make it too tight, guys, you will have a headache. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull all the way up to the other side of the wig where the lace meets the wig cap again, and you kind of can see where our T-pins are, so that kind of tells you where you should cut. And I'm going to make a mark of that and I'm gonna cut it. So this is the diameter of this wig head or your head at home. Now we're gonna flip it back over and I'm gonna show you guys where to actually sew that wig or elastic band. All right, so you see I have went ahead and pinned my wig down. It's inside out, and I'm going to show you guys exactly where I'm going to sew. So where I would like to sew is actually in between that built-in wig band and the actual mesh part of the wig. And I'm going to try to get a close-up so you guys can see. Okay, so you guys see I'm kind of right in the middle of that wig band, and I'm actually halfway through the mesh part. So I just like to put it there because it's already a little bit of security with the built-in wig band, but I want to create more security. I just find it works, guys. Like I said, these are things and tips and tricks I have used on myself and my clients for 5 years now, so it works. And I'm gonna go ahead and just sew that. I'm gonna do this on both sides and make it very sturdy when you're sewing, and that's pretty much it. Okay guys, so we have replaced our lace closure, we have tightened our tracks, and we have added a wig band. This wig is pretty much brand new. All we have to do now is pluck it and style it, which I am going to do in the next video, so please stay tuned for part 2. I'm actually going to go ahead and post that in the corner so you guys can click on that and watch that video. But this is it. This is pretty much something I use for all of my clients and customers. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Bye.